All new at 10 o'clock. This is the former Collier County Corporal now facing 4 felonies.
An internal affairs report reveals Kevin Doby is getting dangerously high on prescription pills before reporting to work, and he is now accused of lying to doctors to get those drugs.
The Night Beat's Olivia Mancino live tonight outside the Naples jail with all new information at 10.
Well, Doby's just bonded out of jail this evening after deputies arrested him last night. Tonight, we got our hands on an internal investigation that shows his apparent troubled past with narcotics. All new on the Night Beat, a lengthy investigation into a former corporal who reports state showed up to work impaired several times. On Monday, former colleagues of 38-year-old Kevin Doby booked him in the Naples Jail Center on 4 counts of withholding information from a practitioner or doctor shopping, meaning he's accused of going to multiple physicians to get the same drug at the same time. We went to Doby's listed address for comment, but no one at the home would speak to us, and they quickly closed their garage door. The recent arrest is just the tip of the iceberg for Doby's. An investigation concluded he showed up for work clearly under the influence of a narcotic on more than one occasion, even falling asleep during briefings. According to the report, he also drove a marked patrol car while impaired, swerving across lanes and almost blowing past stoplights. Another deputy had to drive him home. The Collier County Sheriff withdrew his appointment as a law enforcement officer, quote, not in good standing, in September of 2016. Now, the investigation also says he had problems with missing shifts and even showing up late since 2010. He's facing 4 felony charges. Live on the Night Beat, Olivia Mancino, Wink News Now.
You know you're being recorded, sir.
We're being recorded by my stuff too, so step on outside.
I'm good here. What can I do for you, sir?
You refused a directive over there to stop, so
I didn't hear you.
Listen,
I had my...
Listen, if you would like, I'll take you right to jail, or we can step outside and we can talk.
Sir, I had my headphones on. I didn't hear you.
Come outside with me.
What did I do wrong?
You can either do that, or you can go to jail. I ordered you to stop over there. You looked at me, you acknowledged me, and then you walked into Waffle House. So,
no, I was not looking at you, sir.
Again, I'm giving you the opportunity to step outside. We'll have a conversation. If you don't want to do what I tell you to do, I'm giving you a lawful order, and then you go to jail. I'll just put you in handcuffs.
Can I call my attorney?
You cannot. And I'm not going to give you any more time to decide.
And what is your name, sir, please?
Okay, put the phone down.
What is your name? I'm willing to do it, sir, but
listen,
I want your name
right now,
and I want your supervisor.
Pepper spray right here in Waffle House, and then we'll deal with the problem because you're resisting me right now.
I am not resisting
you. You are,
because
sir. I'm giving you an order. I'm telling you what to do. So if I tell you to put the phone up and put the phone down and stand up, you are lawfully obliged to do so. So do it now. Put your hands behind.
Into this violent traffic stop.
Hello, sir?
1 second, I'm calling my attorney.
I need your license, registration for insurance.
Let me call my attorney.
No, you need it now. Sir, do not get out of the car right now. Get out of the car. Sir, what the are you doing? What the are you doing?
It only took 9 seconds for a Collier County deputy to approach the man's car, open the door, and deploy his taser at him. The driver's GoPro recorded it all.
And there was a reason he had that GoPro in the car in the first place. Wink News investigative reporter Dave Culbreth here with more.
Yeah, Chris, before we go back to that video, we should probably give you some history and background on all this because it goes back to early 2014.
Mr. Harris could be anyone out there that this could happen to.
March 2014. Robert Harris, 41 years old with no criminal record, filed a complaint against a Collier County deputy. Less than a month later, he was coming out of a storage facility at night.
He was there legally. The officer stopped him and didn't give him any opportunity to tell them why he was there.
That was Sergeant Kasey Wingo. In reports, he wrote that Harris smart-mouthed him. Then this happened. Sergeant Wingo charged Harris with 3 counts of assault on a law enforcement officer. But after reviewing this dash cam video, the state attorney's office dismissed the case.
Obviously, if charges are abandoned, it must mean either that they couldn't prove their case or there was some problem with the way the case was handled.
Initially, Ms. Jellos-Thompson didn't do much. But Harris kept telling her he was being harassed by Wingo. So 2.5 years later, in September 2016, She notified the Collier County Sheriff's Office that they will be suing for wrongful arrest, and she told Harris to put a camera in his car.
There was a concern that he may be stopped again, and Robert was in fear. He had been beaten once before, and even though the charges had been abandoned, he was still fearful of something else happening.
Then, 3 months later, December 16th, 2016, Harris was driving down the road, and off to the side he noticed a cop car. Turned out it was Wingo, and he pulled Harris over for having the wrong license plate on his car.
Hello, sir? 1 second, I'm calling my attorney. I need your license registration for insurance. Let me call my attorney. No, you need it now. Sir, do not get out of the car right now. Get out of the car. Sir, what the are you doing? What the are you doing?
The deputy pulls out his taser.
Sir, get out! Get out right now! What the are you doing? I'm gonna shoot you if you don't get out of the car.
The deputy then climbs into the car.
Please! Will you please stop? I am not doing nothing. I'm gonna hurt you so bad in a second.
Afterwards, Wingo charged Harris with assault on a law enforcement officer again, and wrote that Harris reached through the open window with both hands and pulled the door shut. And Robert leaned back in the vehicle, pulling me into the vehicle with him.
He had a video in his car. Completely contradicted what the officer said happened.
Lee Hollander is the attorney who defended Harris on the assault charges.
The officer claims that Mr. Harris yanked him into the car. That's not what happened at all. The officer rips the door open and goes into the car after Mr. Harris with the taser.
I believe that the officer, in my mind, should have identified why he was stopping Robert and given Robert an opportunity to respond. Robert did nothing to escalate that situation.
Hollander says that after being notified of the lawsuit, the sheriff's office should have instructed Sergeant Wingo to stay away from Harris.
This officer had no business, no legit business, getting involved in this case, in the new arrest, and I think it was done for purposes of intimidation, because they were notified that they were going to be sued in federal court for what happened in the 14 case.
So Hollander took the latest video, the one that Harris recorded on the camera that he put in his car, to the state attorney's office.
We clued them in about the 14 case and the notice, the 6-month notice that you have to file prior to suing in federal court, and they reviewed it in that light.
And after that, the state attorney's office dismissed the charges of assaulting a cop again.
How often have you seen a prosecutor's office drop charges of assault on a law enforcement officer? Not once, but twice.
Never.
Same cop, same...
Never.
Because?
Well, because the prosecutors try to back the officers. I mean, they lean that way, obviously, and for good reason. But sometimes just can't do it.
Did you see battery on a law enforcement officer when you looked at the video, being objective?
Well, obviously, I'm Robert's attorney on the civil side of the case. I did not.
Would you have taken the case had you seen that?
No, I would not have been involved.
What if that camera hadn't been there?
Then it would have been his word versus the officer, and it probably would have been a whole different ball game.
We asked the state attorney's office for an interview, and we're told it couldn't because of the pending lawsuit. But we were able to ask if the deputy is going to face any charges. It did answer that and said there wasn't sufficient evidence at this time. We also asked the sheriff's office for an interview, and it cited the lawsuit as well. But it did say they've not received a complaint against Wingo, and that what he did was within their policy and within the law. Wingo was not disciplined and remains employed as a Collier County sergeant. One other note, as a result of the arrest, Robert Harris spent 33 days in jail, all of it during Christmas and New Year's. Dave Colbert, Wink News Now.
Hello, sir? 1 second, I'm calling my attorney. I need your license registration for insurance. Let me call my attorney. No, you need it now. Sir, do not get out of the car right now. Get out of the car. Sir, what are you doing? What the are you doing? What the are you doing? Get out right now. What the are you doing? 1024! What the are you doing? I'm not... Sir, what the are you doing? Get out of the car right now! Who are you? Get out of the car right now! Who are you? I'm not doing nothing! Get out of the car right now! What are you doing? Get out of the car! You're under arrest! Get out of the car! Get out of the car! What are you doing? Please, stop! I'm not doing nothing! Get out of the car right now! Sir, I'm not doing nothing! Stop! 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 I'm not doing nothing! Sir! Stop! I'm not doing nothing! You're trying to hurt me! Neighborly help! I'm not doing nothing! Wingo! Are you Wingo? Get out of the car now! Are you Wingo? Are you Wingo? Get out of the car right now! Are you Wingo? Are you Wingo? Get out of the car! I will if you get the... I'm gonna shoot you if you don't get out of the car! Will you taser? Will you let me get out without even hurting? Get out of the car right now! Can you stop? Stand back! Stop! Will you please stop? Get out of the car! Do nothing wrong! Sir? Stop! Stop! I'm not speaking! Get out of the car! Sir! Will you stop? You call 911! I'm calling 911! I'm not doing nothing wrong! I'm not doing nothing wrong! Stop! Let go! Why? So you can hurt me? Sir, please! What is your problem? Get out of the car! Will you please stop? Will you please stop? I am not doing nothing. I'm gonna hurt you so bad in a second. Please stop. Let go of the taser. Why? So you can hurt me? He's a cover. Sir, what is your problem? Get out of Who are you? Identify yourself! Who are you? Please don't do this! Please don't do this! Please don't do this! Please stop! Stop! Get it, get it! He's hurting me! He's got me taser! Roll your stomach! Behind your back! I can't breathe! Quit fighting, man. I'm not! I got hurt! Give me your hand. Notice that? I can't breathe! No, you good. I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! God? I'm give it to you. It was like 16 acres. You're fine. I can't breathe. Shut up. You can breathe. I can't. Grab the rope thing right out of the freezer.
Robert, here's the thing. Do you work in here?
I am working for Randy, thank you.
Okay, do you work inside this place?
Yeah, for today.
Is there anybody that can confirm that? Because you're coming out of a closed place. That's what the problem is.
Listen, he just let me out.
Okay, is he back there?
Yeah, he's still back there with the
Relax, okay? I have a job I have to do. You understand that? Okay, there's burglaries in these things all the time. I see you come out with a bicycle with a backpack, okay, at 9:30 at night.
I always wear a backpack, sir. You always know this.
Okay, and did I know you before I pulled you over? No. Okay, you're being very abrasive right now. What makes me think that you were back there doing something wrong? Do you understand that?
I would like to have a supervisor.
Well, too bad. That's not going to happen.
Are you denying my
Yes,
right?
I am, because you don't have a right to a supervisor. If you call 911, I am going to take you to jail for abuse of 911.
Why? Because you are not...
Because you're not, it's not an emergency.
I have the right to talk to your superiors.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. No, you don't. Did you get his ID yet?
It's Robert Price, I think is his last name.
No,
Robert
it's
something.
not. Let me see your ID. Just talk to 2008. I don't give a shit about 2008. Let me see your ID. I'm going...
He was coming out of here.
You
Everything's
know,
closed.
You guys are harassing me. You know... Let me see your ID, man. I have no ID.
Which storage unit is this guy in?
Why don't you just go right to the sound? You know Rock and Roll Randy. What about him? That's who I'm working for, thank you.
He owns a place back there? Because last time I checked, he was homeless.
What's your name, man? Robert. Robert what? Robert what? On the phone, I'm kidding. My boss, thank you.
Horrible.
Hey, Randy, come out to the gate and talk to these officers, please. Thank you. What's your last name, Ron? I'm a family in Harris, and I do not consent. Harris? H-A-R-R-I-S? If you want.
Sir, you do realize I have a valid reason to get your ID. You failing to produce your ID, we'll land you in jail. Do you understand that? Or if you fail to identify yourself.
I just don't like being harassed. That's all.
Harassed. I'm trying to get your name and date of birth, man.
Over there you have harassed me.
Look, what is your name?
Have I committed a crime, sir?
I am investigating a loitering and prowling complaint, yes.
From who? I have the right to face my accuser, sir.
Well, you're
Are
facing
you
him.
taking your wages under false pretenses, sir?
Step off the bike. Step
Sir,
off,
do
step
not
off the
touch-
bike. Step
I
off.
don't consent! Ow! I have not done nothing!
Roll over.
I have not done nothing!
Turn around. Turn around.
I have not done nothing!
I'm gonna sit this man. Turn
I
around.
do not consent!
Turn around. Turn around.
I want your supervisor!
Watch out.
Get it.
Roll over now! Do it all, we're gonna tase you! Roll over!
Do it.
Roll over! Harass me! I have not done nothing!
Tase him again, boy. Go, kick me.
I did not. Oh! Turn over! I can't! He's fucking hurting me!
Dude, what are you doing? Turn over!
I can't, dude! You're on me! I will turn over if you... I have not done nothing! I have not done nothing!
Roll over!
I can't!
Roll over!
I want your supervisor!
Turn over!
I want your supervisor! I have not done nothing! I want your supervisor!
I'm gonna tase you again. You gotta roll over.
I can't! He's on me, dude!
No one's on you. Roll over.
Okay! Let me take my fucking bag off!
Roll the fuck over.
I will! I have not done nothing! Harassment!
stalking. I want Mason. I want supervisor. You want to get Mason? It'll go over. I have not done nothing, sir. There you go. Ah! Dude, turn over. What's wrong with you? I have not done nothing. Stop fighting and just turn over. I'm not fighting. Grab me like that again. I'm not grabbing you. I have not done nothing. Turn over. I can't. I can't fucking turn out, dude. I don't consent. You have violently. I'm gonna tase you again. I can't fucking see, dude. Roll over. I can't see. Hold on. I can't fucking see, dude. You have violated my rights. I want to make you a supervisor. Ah! You can't! I want you supervisor now! Dude, don't grab me! Put your hand behind your back! You think that fucking hurts? Put your hand behind your back, man! I did not do nothing! I can't breathe. Okay, just hold it. I did not do nothing, boss! I did not do nothing! Alright, I got one. Come here. I did not fucking do nothing. Give me your arm. Give me your arm. Watch out. Give me your arm. Yeah. Give me your arm. I can't move. Stop fucking moving. You're gonna do it again. I didn't even fucking do nothing. Bring your head on your back. Taser deployed? No, yeah. Taser deployed. Taser deployed. I didn't even fucking do something. I got fucking hurt. I can't fucking breathe. I didn't even do nothing. Hey, grab him. Grab him. I can't fucking breathe. I didn't even dog! Give me that dog! Get out of the way! I didn't even grab that dog! Get off his leg! Get off his leg! Get off his leg! Watch out! Watch out! Get out! Whoa, wait! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! Who's this gentleman right here? Hey, I step it up. Got K9 coming, K9 coming. Taser deployed? No, yes or no? Taser deployed. Get his arm back there. I didn't even fucking do something. Here, light him up. Light him up again if you have to. I got fucking hurt. Okay. I can't fucking breathe. No, it's good. It's good. I didn't even do nothing. Hey, grab him. Grab him. I can't fucking breathe. Got K9 here if you need him. You fucking I didn't even touch. Give me that dog! Get out of the way! I didn't even do nothing. Get off his leg! Get off his leg, Steve! Get off his leg! Watch out! Watch out! Get up! Whoa, wait! He's coming at him. I can't even fucking breathe. Shut up. I can't breathe. This. Get the hold on. This gentleman right here. Oh, he's around. Can he just sit in the car? So sit in the car, please. He's right along there. Who's right along your side? Just stay in the fucking car. Yeah. I didn't do nothing. Who's Izzy? Who's Izzy? It's mine. I didn't even do nothing. I can't even fucking breathe. Somebody take care of him. I can't even fucking breathe.
Hey, we just got the one?
I guess so. I think so.
Just the one, Wingo? Yeah, just. Do you need an ambulance?
He can't undo his vest off. Can't breathe. Get his vest off.
And one of our own police.
My phone's charged, so I can't get
He
said he can't breathe. Yeah. Roll over to your side. You're gonna roll to your side. Roll to your side.
He's probably
right there. That's fine. He can just sit on his side.
No, we're responding back there.
I just can't ready for you. The shop is broken. It won't shut.
The
exit gate.
Yeah.
Table can 11, clear, marker, Jason.
10 in the last two cut out.
Clear 33 traffic.
Clear 10-8, 10-33 traffic, 10-8, 10-33 traffic. Table 3 Charlie, 21, 10-13.
Able to Marine 111.
Marine 111.
I know they're tied up. If you get any priority calls, go ahead and dispatch me out.
Bus 3 Charlie 20 on units on Tollgate 1015.
Over to Tampa Bus. What's your Charlie phone? You're calling on Tollgate. Yes, sir. Try calling the other call.
Naples Marine 112, 1065 at 22 on Bravo Zone.
111.
10 Fords, 2740 Bayshore Drive, 2740 Bayshore Drive, cross the 41 at New Attitudes. Call like there's a white male, signal 2, and starting trouble and wants to fight people. Just got out of detox and the last thing wearing a white sleeveless t-shirt and blue shorts. Negative signal 0.
Okay, 451.
Bravo 20, 861. Bravo 20, Bravo 861. Go ahead, sir. Can I have your last one, please? 4584, 4584.
Only a signal 50 and Alpha Zone up, Hibiscus Avenue and Central Drive. Collier, there's a bunch of black males and white females that live in the area selling signal 50 on bicycles. Call us to be anonymous, but want something done about it.
Alright, next bill.